Jazz Berganzo here. Another What's Next on this Thursday. We're going to jump back into sports. And it so happens that one particular sports team decided to take it upon themselves to do what they were told not to do. But before that, we're going to build up a little bit before we jump into that one. But you be the judge. Let's take a look. This comes out of Breitbart. Report. Olympic organizers ban social media teams from showing athletes taking a knee. According to a report from The Guardian on Wednesday, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, and the Tokyo 2020 organizers have banned social media teams from showing athletes taking a knee in protest during the games. Now, I did an earlier video in regards to the other report coming out of Tokyo that the Tokyo Olympics made it clear that there are going to be no protests. Black Lives Matter was banned from Tokyo, and rightly so, because you don't allow terrorists into your country. But regarding this situation, according to The Guardian, an insider said the message was delivered from on high on Tuesday evening, Tokyo time, with a specific reference to Team GB's women's first football match against Chile, just hours before it kicked off in Sapporo on Wednesday. The image of both teams taking a knee beforehand in protest against racism and online hatred was seen live on TV, and the gesture was then followed by the United States and Sweden players as well as those from New Zealand. However, none of those powerful pictures were posted on the official Tokyo 2020 live blog or its Facebook or Twitter pages. They made it clear. Stop the nonsense. Or its Instagram site, which has more than 500,000 followers. They were also not seen on any IOC social channels. As you can see, the kneeling here, the stupidity and the nonsense. Some thought that the IOC's recent relaxing of Rule 50, which prohibited any demonstration of political, religious, racial propaganda on any Olympic sites, venues, or other areas, would pave the way for more highly visible athlete protests. However, with the images of these protests reportedly blocked by social media teams at the events, it appears that the increase in the ability to protest does not necessarily come with an increase of protest platforms. And I'm going to build up, of course, the U.S. national women's team took a knee, Tuesday's game. Speaking of, let's jump into this one. This comes out of Outkick by Clay Travis. The United States women's soccer team makes Olympics political and lose big against Sweden. You can't walk the walk if you're down on one knee. The U.S. women's soccer team, led by politically charged Megan Rapinoe, purple-haired, I am, whatever pronoun you are this week, represented America on the world stage, embarrassingly, by taking a knee before their match on Wednesday. Only made it worse when they lost 3-0. That's right. You lost to Sweden because you got stupid. There you go. Assuming that their grandstanding would lead to a win. Not really. The U.S. team managed to chip away at the remaining fun to be had at the Olympic Games in Tokyo by making things political, which many can correctly assume is more of a grab for attention than activism. Oh, Clay, how right you are. Quote, the U.S. women's soccer team was beaten 3-0, I believe, by Sweden, said Outkick founder Clay Travis, joining the millions of Americans that were stunned to learn that the women's soccer team already had played. It was their first loss in 44 games. As Clay says, their situation to side with divisive messaging on America from ideologues such as Colin Kaepernick and the Black Lives Movement. The women's soccer team seems to have missed the mark on what it means to be American more than the kicks missed in the goals against Sweden. As long as they checked those boxes, they were fine. The hell with the game. Check those identity and diversity boxes. That's all they cared about. And that's sad and pathetic. Quote, it's intriguing to see U.S. women's team kneel before the game. There's going to be a lot of political analysis going on, and it pertains to the Olympics this year. It's going to be harder to enjoy. It's going to be way more political than it has been in the past. I think it's going to hurt the viewership, not to mention the 12-hour difference. They got whipped right after they kneeled. It's unfortunate that the story for many people with the U.S. women no longer involves their field performance, which they have been great. These are former World Cup champions. But instead, it's about what they're doing before the game even begins. Don't mind the beeping in the background. It's a timer I got doing something. But, all right. My thoughts. This is what happens. You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. Exactly what happened with the U.S. women's soccer team. They decided to take a knee. And by doing that, basically make it all about themselves and basically fuck America. That's what it comes down to. Megan Rapinoe and the other clowns on that soccer team, and it's sadly because it's not all the women. You got tremendous women athletes. Rapinoe is a very good player in her own right, but she decided to make it about herself the second she decided to take that first knee because Colin Kaepernick started the whole damn thing. And now it's ruined it. It's ruined football. NBA ratings are tanked. Thank you, LeBron James, Karen James. And now you have this nonsense. And I'm glad. I am very, very glad that Tokyo took a stand and said, no, this is not going to be published. This is not going to be shown. This is not going to be politicized. We're going to try to do the best we can. But of course, shite like this will get out. And it's sad. And it's pathetic. I hate to say this, but I'm glad they lost. I'm glad they lost. I really, really hope that this is a wake-up moment for that team to say, you know what? We're not going to do this. From here on, we're just going to concentrate on our play, our performance, being a team, being there for the coach, representing the United States on the world stage. That is your only focus. You want to be political, do it outside of the field, just like Colin Kaepernick. He had opportunity, but he decided to do it at the worst possible time when they are playing the national anthem and the flag being raised high and represented. That was the stupidity and ignorance on his part, being ignorant, and now you have the U.S. women's team being ignorant as well. I'm glad you lost. I'm glad. I tip my hat off to Sweden for putting up a great game and basically blasting them 3-0. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.